Did you fall in love with the process of recording? That's definitely a huge aspect of Jeff Lynne produced the music for the Electric Light Orchestra and worked on some of rock's biggest records. His work with the traveling Wilburys, Tom Petty, George Harrison, and Roy Orbison showed how smart he was. Lynne plays the guitar himself and knows everything there is to know about it. Music. He knows what makes a decent player great because he is a producer, songwriter, and guitarist. His point of view is one of a kind and useful. It was getting bigger and bigger, and I thought it was getting too huge for my taste. When Lynne talked about his 10 favorite guitarists, the music world listened. This wasn't just another fan listing random heroes. Lynne has worked with famous guitarists and studied their methods in depth. His style of production focuses on getting the best guitar sounds and creating passages that make songs stand out. Lynne searches for certain traits in guitarists he really likes. Every time, Lynne values melody over speed. He likes guitarists that think like songwriters and arrangers. Being good at music is more important than being good at technical skills. Lynne's picks show that he thinks that outstanding guitar playing makes songs better instead of too much. His collection includes some well-known legends and other surprise choices that show how well he knows how to play the guitar. Duane Eddy. Duane Eddy made instrumental rock and roll music with his rich, twangy guitar tone. His songs Rebel Rouser and Peter Gunn showed an entirely new way to play the electric guitar. Eddy made a dark, ominous sound by playing basic tunes on the bass strings of his Gretsch guitar. Lynne liked how Eddy made minimalism sound exciting and dramatic. Yes, and he's really nice. He's a great man, and he really likes it when people say nice things about him. Many guitarists and producers were inspired by Eddy's usage of tremolo and reverb. After just 2 notes, you could tell right away what kind of guitar he played. Lynne liked that Eddy knew that the tone and production were just as essential as the notes. Eddy never played hard solos or showed off his technical skills. He wrote catchy songs that people would remember for a long time. Eddy was different because he paid attention to the mood and ambience. His instrumentals delivered stories without any words. Lynne is believed to have commented, "Eddy showed that simplicity and great tone beat complexity every time. Eddy has an impact on rock, country, and surf music." Lynne learned a lot from his method about how production can make guitar playing better. 9. Hank Marvin. Before the Beatles altered everything, Hank Marvin and the Shadows were the most popular instrumental rock band in Britain. A whole generation of British guitarists were affected by Marvin's clear, precise playing style. In England, his Crimson Fender Stratocaster became famous. It was hard, but a lot of them were easy for me to remember because they were always in my mind when I was a kid. You know, Lynne learned how to play lead guitar by listening to Shadows records and Marvin melodic style. Marvin showed young British players what they could do. Marvin played Apache, FBI, and Wonderful Land with superb technique and beautiful phrasing. His voice was really clear and had just the appropriate amount of echo. Marvin used the tremolo arm on his Stratocaster to bring emotion to simple songs. Lynne enjoyed how Marvin made instrumental guitar fun and easy for regular people to listen to. Marvin was different from other players since he had both classical music training and rock and roll intensity. He thought about how to write and arrange things. Lynne is said to have called Marvin the guitarist who made British rock feasible. Marvin had a huge impact on guitarists like Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and Mark Knopfler. His Shadows records set the standard for British guitar music. 8. Cadet Atkins. Chad Atkins was a great fingerstyle guitarist and invented the Nashville sound, which was the most popular style of country music. He could play bass lines, chords, and melodies at the same time on one guitar because of his technique. Lynne attentively researched Atkins' records because he was impressed by how precise and musically smart he was. And it's just great. The buildings kids get to play in are just great. I mean, that is next to any Atkins who could play any form of music brilliantly, from country to jazz to classical. Atkins made hundreds of recordings that showed off his amazing range and taste. His Gretsch trademark guitars made warm, clear sounds that became the standard for country music. Lynne liked that Atkins never stopped learning and trying new things during his career. Atkins made albums for other artists while still keeping up with his own performances, which showed how much he loved music. Lynne was particularly impressed by how generous Atkins was as a mentor and how well he knew harmony. Atkins knew how to play jazz chords and employed them in country music. Lynne is said to have said that Atkins blended technical skill with a love of music. Atkins had an effect on guitarists in various kinds of music, not just country. His way of playing proved that a talented guitarist could make the guitar sound like a whole orchestra. 7. James Burton. James Burton became the most popular session guitarist in both rock and country music. Burton's work with Ricky Nelson, Elvis Presley, and many other artists set the standard for professional guitar playing. Lynne was impressed by how well Burton could write parts for any type of music. Yes, I hope it will be really different since I don't like to get stuck in a rut when I write music. Burton never let his ego get in the way of his recordings. He did a great job of serving tunes. Burton's Telecaster style mixed country chicken picking with a rock and roll attitude. His rapid, smooth runs and bends have had an effect on many players over the years. Burton was just as good at playing fast solos as he was at playing soft rhythm parts. Lynne saw that Burton usually made singers sound better without trying to get attention. Burton knew that strong guitar playing makes the whole song sound better. Burton's tone and phrasing were what made him irreplaceable. 3 notes made it clear who Burton was right away. Lynne is said to have named Burton the best professional guitarist who never played a bad note. Burton's red Paisley Telecaster is becoming one of the most famous rock guitars. Lynne emphasizes technical talent and musical intellect above all else, and his work shows the perfect balance between the two. 6. Brian May. Brian May made his own guitar and gave rock music one of its most unique tones. Music May's handcrafted red special guitar and his layered approach generated huge orchestral sounds. Lynne really liked how May made things and how innovative he was. It was always extremely nice that he genuinely did adore Bob. Queen's guitar sound was readily recognizable as Brian May's, which showed that he was a true individual in music. May recorded several guitar parts that worked together like voice choruses. His solo on Bohemian Rhapsody started out with soft plucking and slowly built up to an explosive sound. May utilized a British sixpence coin as a pick to make his own sound and assault. Lynne liked how May didn't only stick to typical rock guitar styles. May played the guitar like it was a part of a symphony. May was unique because he was a great songwriter, a great musician, and a great sound designer. May wrote simple yet powerful songs like We Will Rock You. Lynne is said to have lauded May for her commitment to making original sounds without following trends. May's work with Queen had an equal impact on rock, metal, and progressive music. His makeshift guitar showed that different people may make different sounds. 5. Roy Orbison. People remember Roy Orbison for his amazing voice, but not many people know that he was also a great guitarist. Orbison played all of the guitar parts on his first singles. Lynne worked with Orbison a lot in the traveling Wilburys and found out that he was a great guitar player. Orbison's rhythm playing was very advanced, and his solos were always on pitch. Orbison's guitar playing on songs like Oh Pretty Woman and Only the Lonely showed how great he was without being too flashy. He never overplayed or took the focus away from his singing. Orbison knew how guitar parts should help and improve singing. Lynne liked how well Orbison played music and how he could put together whole songs in his thoughts. 4. George Harrison. George Harrison became one of Jeff Lynne's closest friends and worked with him a lot. Their work together in music made some of the most beautiful rock music ever. Music Harrison saw playing guitar as a way to connect with God, not as a way to show off. Each note has a purpose and a significance. Lynne saw Harrison's talent firsthand on many recording sessions and gained a lot from watching him operate. Harrison was irreplaceable because he made music in a spiritual way. He thought that playing guitar was a form of meditation and a way to help the song. Lynne is claimed to have told Harrison that he had the most pure musical heart of any guitarist alive. Harrison's slide guitar playing added new words to rock music. He was able to persuade others because of his great taste and exquisite timing, not because he was a skilled showman. Lynne's life and music were transformed forever when she worked with Harrison. 3. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry made up all the words and phrases that rock and roll guitarists use. Every rock guitarist who came after Berry used words he made up in the 1950s. Lynne knew that Berry was the reason rock guitar became what it is today. Berry was a revolutionary package that included compositional talent, charisma, rhythm playing, and lead guitar. Berry's guitar solos on Johnny B. Good and Roll Over Beethoven are two of the most famous in music history. All rock guitarists now use his double-string bending technique. Berry's rhythm playing gave songs an irresistible drive that pushed them onward. His duck walk made playing the guitar look interesting. As a young musician, Lynne was obsessed with Barry's recordings. What made Barry better than most other artists was that he was a full artist. He composed great songs, sang them, played revolutionary guitar, and made the rock and roll image. Lynne is said to have said that Barry came up with the blueprint that all rock guitarists use. Barry's Gibson ES-355 had a crisp, sharp sound that typified rock music. Every guitarist owes Barry a huge debt for building the foundation. 2. Jimi Hendrix. In barely 3 years of recording, Jimi Hendrix broke every norm concerning electric guitar. Music, his creativity was more than what other guitarists do in their whole lives. Lynne spent a lot of time studying Rix to learn about his harmonic ideas, rhythmic ideas, and sound explorations. Rix completely redesigned the instrument from the ground up. Rix's shows at Terry and Woodstock showed that guitar may be drama, art, and music that goes beyond itself all at the same time. Songs like Purple Haze and Voodoo Child took the electric guitar to places no one had ever thought it could go. Rix used effects, feedback, and distortion to make music. Lynne liked how Rix mixed blues with psychedelic exploration in a way that worked. Rix was one of a kind because he was both a master of technique and a true artist. He played upside-down Stratocasters with the strings going the other way, which opened up new ways to play. Buddy Holly is one. In just 18 months of recording, Buddy Holly changed the way rock and roll guitars sounded. That You Get in Touch with Me. Every rock band that came after him used his work as a model. Lynne puts Holly at the top of the list because she is a great songwriter, a creative guitar player, and has a comprehensive musical vision. Holly did more than just play the guitar. He showed the world how to play guitar, bass, and drums all at the same time. Holly's rhythm playing on songs like Peggy Sue and That'll Be the Day gave the music a lot of life. His Fender Stratocaster became the most famous rock guitar. Holly used studio techniques like double tracking that had an effect on the Beatles and everyone else after them. Lynne was obsessed with Holly and said he was his biggest inspiration. Holly was one of a kind because of the way he made records. He composed, sung, played guitar, and made his own music. Lynne is said to have said that Holly came up with the idea for the modern rock band. Holly's death at 22 took away the best young musician in the world. His effect on Lynne and Elo was quite strong and long-lasting. Jeff Lynne's list shows that the most important things are melody, taste, and how the song is served. These guitarists made music that would remain forever, not just show off their technical skills. How do you feel about the Beatles being number 1? Please tell us who your favorite guitarist is in the comments. If you want more music history and guitar legends content, hit the like button and subscribe.